Let's start with a really powerful idea. We have enough time to do everything we truly want. They just use it much better. Hello to all viewers of my channel. That one idea? It's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're talking about mastering your time and finally making that switch from the chaos of being busy to the clear focus of being productive.
That quote from writer Robert Kiyosaki really cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? It suggests that time itself isn't the enemy. Our management of it is. I mean, think about it. We all get the exact same 24 hours in a day. The real game changer, the thing that separates feeling totally overwhelmed from feeling accomplished, it all comes down to how we actually use those hours.
Okay, so if we've all got the same amount of time in the bank, why does so many of us feel like we're constantly fighting a losing battle against the clock? It's a huge question, and that's what we're going to unpack right now. And here's a hint. The answer has nothing to do with working harder. It's all about understanding this hidden mental tax that we pay for every single little interruption.
And boom, here's the culprit. It's a concept from a researcher named Sophie Leroy, and it's called attention residue. It's kind of like this. Imagine you're pouring water from one glass to another. No matter how careful you are, some drops always get left behind, right? Well, that's what your attention does. Every time you switch tasks, even for a second to check a message, a piece of your focus gets left behind, stuck on what you were just doing. So you're never ever giving 100% to the new thing.
And this idea of attention residue, it leads us straight into what I call the great time paradox of our modern lives. I mean, we are all busier than we've ever been, right? Our calendars are a mess, our inboxes are a nightmare, but all that frantic running around, it so often doesn't add up to any real meaningful progress. So what's going on here? Let's dig in.
Okay, get ready for this because this number is wild. 23 minutes. That's not a typo. Research shows it takes an average of 23 minutes for your brain to get back to the same level of deep focus it had before you were interrupted. And that's just from one quick look at your phone. Now, just imagine that happening a few times every single hour. It's absolutely no wonder we feel like we're just spinning our wheels and getting nowhere.
So, okay, we've identified the problem. This constant, sneaky drain on our attention. The solution, then, isn't about finding more time. It's about being way smarter with the focus we have. And this is where we pivot from the why to the how, starting with some really powerful principles for prioritization.
And first up is a real classic, and it's a classic for a reason. It's the Pareto principle. You might know it as the 80-20 rule. And look, this isn't just some stuffy business school concept. It's a fundamental truth about how the world works. Basically, it says that for almost anything, the vast majority of your results, like 80% of them, come from a tiny fraction of your efforts, just 20%. Your job, your mission, is to figure out what that vital 20% is.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Look at that. That huge chunk of results, a whopping 80%, all comes from that tiny little slice of key efforts. It's incredible. And what that really means is that most of the stuff we do, the other 80% of our busy work, gives us almost nothing in return. So the biggest takeaway here is to stop. Just stop, treating every task on your list like it's equally important, because it's just not true.
All right, so the mission is clear, right? We have to find that golden 20% and protect it with our lives. But that's the hard part. How in the world do you actually figure out what's truly important versus all the other noise that's screaming for your attention? Well, luckily, there's a simple but seriously powerful tool that can help us do just that.
And this is it. It's called the Eisenhower Matrix. And honestly, it's such a beautifully simple way to sort out, well, everything on your plate. Instead of that one massive, overwhelming to-do list that we all have, you just split your tasks into 4 boxes. And you do it by asking 2 really simple questions. Is this urgent? And is this important?
And getting this difference between urgent and important is, well, it's everything. Urgent things are the ones yelling in your face. They demand your attention right now. Think of a ringing phone or a constant stream of emails. They're usually reactive, but the important tasks, those are the things that actually move the needle on your long-term goals. They're proactive, they require planning, and here's the kicker, they are almost never urgent. And that's exactly why they're so easy to push to the side for later.
Okay, so now we have the big ideas. We know we need to hunt down what's important and protect it from all that urgent stuff. So let's get down to brass tacks. How do we actually take these principles and bake them into our daily routine? How do we go from the chaos of just reacting to everything to the calm of actually being in control?
Well, the very first step is something you've probably heard before. You can't manage what you don't measure.
I mean, let's be honest, most of us have a fuzzy idea of where our day goes. But when you actually track it, the reality can be, well, pretty shocking. So before you can change anything, you need a brutally honest snapshot of where you're starting from.
And here's exactly how you do a time audit. For just a few days, 3 to 5 is perfect. Just log everything you do. And the key here is to be brutally honest with yourself. No judgment. Write down the 20 minutes you spent scrolling social media, that coffee break that accidentally turned into a half-hour chat, all of it. This isn't about making you feel bad. This data is your treasure map. It's going to show you exactly where your time is leaking away and, just as importantly, when you're naturally at your most productive.
So once you have that map, once you know when you are most switched on, you can start scheduling what Professor Cal Newport famously calls deep work. And really, this is the holy grail of productivity. It's that amazing state of flow, where you're totally locked in, distraction-free, creating your best stuff, and making real, tangible progress on those big, important tasks, that crucial 20% we keep talking about.
But here's the thing about deep work. It doesn't just happen by accident. You have to be intentional. It's not about just hoping for the best. It's about creating a ritual. By setting up your space, setting a timer, knowing the one thing you're going to achieve, and this is huge, getting rid of all your distractions before you even start. You're basically building a fortress for your focus. It makes concentration almost inevitable. This is how you win the war against attention residue.
Now, all these tools and techniques are awesome, but they're only half the story. If you want these changes to actually stick, we have to go a little bit deeper. We need to look at our fundamental psychological relationship with time, because that's the invisible script that's running in the background and guiding almost all of our choices.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Your whole attitude towards time dictates what you do. Are you someone who's always stuck in the past, replaying old mistakes? Or maybe you're so obsessed with the future that you completely miss what's happening right now. Or are you living so much for the moment that you sabotage your own long-term goals? How you relate to your past, your present, and your future, it literally shapes everything you do.
So the goal isn't to pick one and live there forever. No way. A really healthy, balanced time perspective means you can take lessons from your past without getting stuck in it. It means you can actually enjoy the present moment without being totally reckless. And you can plan for the future without being paralyzed by anxiety. And the real magic word here is flexibly. It's about knowing how to shift between these viewpoints based on what the situation actually needs from you.
And all of this brings us to what might be the single most important piece of this whole puzzle. All these incredible ideas and strategies, they're useless unless they're tailored to fit the one and only person they're meant for, you.
Let me be super clear. There is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all, perfect time management system. It doesn't exist. The reason so many of them fail is because they try to cram your unique personality into a rigid little box. Real, lasting success comes from something different. It comes from deeply understanding your own natural energy cycles, your personal biorhythm, and then building your system to work with that rhythm, not against.
So, here's your homework. Start asking yourself these questions. Seriously, when do you have the most energy? Are you a morning person or a night owl? When does that dreaded afternoon slump always seem to hit? The answers to these questions are pure gold. They'll tell you exactly when to schedule your most important, deep work and when to handle all the boring, low-energy admin stuff. It's about working with your body, not fighting.
At the end of the day, time is the one thing you can spend but can never, ever get back. So the real question I want to leave you with today is this. Are you treating it like the incredibly valuable, non-renewable asset that it is? Are you investing it wisely? I really hope this gave you some things to think about. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel and give this a like. And hey, let me know in the comments what topics you'd like to see broken down next. Thanks so much for watching.